In a particular Dancing with the Stars season, they would have 3 and sometimes 4 permanent judges in a season depending on their schedule, or they just quit off and on to then making guest appearances as guest judges like Julianne Hough and Max Chmerkovskiy. From time to time, they would have guest judges. While they were contestants in previous seasons, very few would return as guest judges such as Alfonso Ribeiro, Zendaya, Nick Carter, Rashad Jennings, David Ross, Leah Remini, Joey Fatone, and former Dancing with the Stars choreographer Mandy Moore also made an appearance like the others before she became a regular judge for Dancing with the Stars Juniors. While Redfoo was a guest judge 3 seasons prior to him joining the cast of season 20 of Dancing with the Stars, there were other celebrities and musicians that also made appearances as guest judges. While they did make appearances here and there, they eventually either ended up being one of their favorites, and finally you have another group of judges that also made appearances, but in the end, they ended up not liking them. This is the worst Dancing with the Stars guest judge. The subject of this video is the infamous Abby Lee Miller. She is best known for being on the former Lifetime TV series Dance Moms, as well as some other spin-offs titled by her, and she is the founder of the Abby Lee Dance Company and the director/owner and the chief choreographer of Rain Dance Productions. There were a couple of Dancing with the Stars notables who took part in the series, such as Mackenzie and Maddie Ziegler and JoJo Siwa in the past. She is also known for being harsh on the girls, like if they mess up or if they do something wrong, she all of a sudden flips out. When both Derek Hough and Mark Bowles heard about her teaching methods, they didn't hold back their opinions.
But her take-no-prisoners approach has some people crying foul. And now Dancing with the Stars hunk Derek Hough has sashayed into the fray. Wednesday, Hough tweeted, "I'm sorry, but this Dance Mom show is straight up abusive. Kids run, it ain't right. Child abuse isn't right. I'm livid right now." He added, "I believe in discipline and a strong work ethic, but there is nothing productive about screaming and making little girls cry over being on the wrong foot."
Turn those feet out!
Fellow Dancing with the Stars castmate Mark Ballas also tangoed into the Twitter tangle. "This teacher lady is crazy. Completely wrong attitude towards the kids. It's embarrassing."
Although they both made their honest opinions on one person, she later defended her teaching methods. But 2 years after it went viral on the ABC News show, they would ultimately invite Abby Lee Miller to make an appearance on Dancing with the Stars as a guest judge. This was so controversial by a lot of fans at the time, and a lot of the other pros and the contestants were not very satisfied with the news. Even though she wasn't that harsh to some of them, she was mostly harsh with season 18 champions Meryl Davis and Max Chmerkovskiy. I think it has to do with the fact that Meryl had an advantage or something, like, I don't know, like, I really don't get it. With Max defending Meryl by saying, and I said this before, I really don't care for anything that she has to say.
Everybody be quiet, I have a lot to say. Max, I would never hit you. Just saying, all right? And I'm sure when a girl is on the floor dancing with you, the last thing that she thinks about are her feet. Meryl, those feet have been in ice skates for a long time. You laid on the floor in that ending pose when he rolled you, and your feet were completely sickled on top of each other. When you did the side extension to the rondejambe to the penché, that foot was like this. Remember, I'm telling you this because I think you have what it takes to win this, and you need to fix those things in the future if you're going to do anything that's contemporary.
Okay. All right. Now, but let me just ask, you're talking contemporary, but how did you like the rumba part?
Right. I loved it, but to me...
All right, fair enough.
All right, well, she called you a teddy bear. Were you feeling like a soft teddy bear with the sickled feet comments by Abby? I don't even know what that means. I'm not a dancer, but what were your thoughts on the constructive criticism there?
I really don't care for anything that she has to say.
Oh, Maxie. Well, she's going to have to judge your celebrity dance duel, so we're going to get the scores.
I loved it, too. I actually used this music for a duet.
Okay.
But even though I love Candace, I would have just dropped her on the floor and walked off, because I quit, right? Hey. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Choreographic perfectly in the piece.
in the piece
I quit.
you would've.
I'm moving on. Out of here. Get it?
I
And
just
he has a big singing career ahead
I
of
just
him.
thought we had a real big YouTube moment there. All right, Bruno.
Anyway.
When the guys left the floor and you two were on your own, you could see that even in a simple chaîné turn, the arms are going way behind your line of center.
They're doing a chaîné turn. Like, she doesn't do this. She did that for you. And she killed it. She don't do that.
Well, you have to love a man that protects his woman, right?
There you
Yes.
go. There you go.
So, ladies, I would have rather seen the girls in heels
All right, Bruno.
for the number. I think they would have been easier moving.
Okay.
Okay.
When I first did some research about her appearance, as well as watching most of her judges' critiques clips, I felt like putting her on the show as a guest judge was a complete waste of time. If you guys thought that was bad, just listen to what the other contestants had to say.
I just have a question for you. You have 2 daughters. Would you give any of them to Abby to teach? Never. Enough said.
You have kids, and you and I have talked about this before. Right. And you got and Candace has kids too, and I see how Candace raises her children, I see how you raise your children, and it's like, that's what you need as a dance teacher. You want these kids to love this sport. I just feel like they're going to get burnt out by the time they're 16, 17. They won't want to pursue this as a profession. I don't necessarily respect her teaching methods.
Here's the thing, here's where I stand with that whole thing, is that I was fortunate enough to have mentors who fueled me with dance with love and positivity and encouragement, and it gave me a longevity for the love of dance. And you know what? It does take a lot of hard work, but you know, hard work can be with love at the same time. You know what I mean?
The people that with the experience in teaching dancers did not approve at all of how she handles herself professionally. And, you know, I don't think that much more needs to be made of that, other than, you know, I have a ton of respect for these guys, and that is not the way that they would want to teach children, which I think is incredibly a powerful statement.
It is refreshing to have the outside judges come in, because they're giving an entirely different point of view. I think she was probably the harshest critic we've had of anybody, but somebody to come in and be honest about something is nice. Like, all we can ever really ask for is honesty.
Personally, I don't blame them on their opinions about her. This is clearly by far the most random guest judge's choice in the show's history by far. And since her appearance on Dancing with the Stars, she has not been a guest judge ever since. Now let this be a lesson to not only for everyone, but for future and current dance teachers as well. If you are going to teach kids dance, even if they mess up or if they're on the wrong foot, always treat them in a respectful, fair, and courteous manner with an encouraging but a respectful way, because they'll either A, end up having a hard time dealing with it, or B, they'll end up giving up on their dream of what they love to do. The brief history of Abby Lee Miller saw her criticizing not only her dance students for being on the wrong foot, but for criticizing one particular couple on season 18, and a lot of drama. You may have your opinions on the incompetence of guest judges such as Leah Remini, Shania Twain, or some other guest judges you don't like, but they are nowhere near the levels of incompetence, selfishness, greed, and abuse quite like Abby Lee Miller, which makes her the worst guest judge in the show's history. And that'll do it for this video, so hit that subscribe button, and leave a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and turn on that post notification bell to keep up to date for more Dancing with the Stars content from my channel. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Eric Sharkey, aka Dancing with the Stars Superfan. Catch you next time.